Hello and welcome to the Scatterable channel, and today I'm going to bring you guys another budget gaming setup video, this time from the $650 to $700 price range. This was all done thanks to the gaming PC behind me, because the trick behind this gaming PC and as to why its cost is so low along with all the other peripherals is because it uses integrated graphics. It doesn't have a dedicated graphics card. And don't let that deter you from the performance of this PC. It can still game quite well. It does have limits, but it's quite a nifty little route to go for a custom gaming PC build in the year 2021 if you want to save money and avoid getting a dedicated graphics card that is super overpriced or just out of stock. That is because the processor in this gaming PC is an all-in-one processor, so in short, an APU, because it has the main processor that you use for general everyday computing, along with a dedicated gaming processor, that being Vega 8 graphics. So those combined into one chip is how we're able to game on this PC without a dedicated graphics card, which is why there's an HDMI cable sticking out of the backside of the motherboard, and not like where the graphics card would typically be. So on that note, I have a very important video releasing this Friday. A lot of you guys who are looking at this PC might be interested in watching because it benchmarks Intel's new integrated graphics versus these, Vega 8. Because Intel did update their integrated graphics chipset on their new Rocket Lake processors to UHD 750, and the results are quite interesting. So that video releases on Friday, and I highly recommend you subscribe and turn on notifications if you want to see the results. Anyways, going back to the setup, before we get into it, I want to mention that everything that I talk about in this video, from the PC parts to the gaming keyboard, monitor, mouse, and headset, can all be found in the description below through my affiliate links. And even if you don't want to get any of these, which I don't blame you, at least clicking one of those affiliate links will give a small kickback to the channel if you do ever get anything from Amazon. And that'll just only help out my move out of here from Arkansas into a new studio in a bigger space, so anything is appreciated. So with all that said, here is a word from our sponsor. If you're finally looking for a 60% mechanical gaming keyboard from a big brand with a strong reputation, then look at the Corsair K65 Mini. Featuring swappable keycaps, Cherry MX speed, silver switches, along with an 8K Hz polling rate, you can finally get that smaller keyboard you've been wanting that'll fit right into the Corsair iQ ecosystem. So check it out using the link at the top of the description. So starting with my favorite peripheral in this budget gaming setup, it definitely has to be the Tecware Phantom 87. And to put it short, I asked you guys on Twitter, hey, what's your favorite budget gaming keyboard at the moment? And I got many bids for the Tecware Phantom 87, and I totally see why. First thing that I noticed when I unboxed this keyboard out of the box was the build quality. I've used other sub $50 mechanical gaming keyboards, and they're just a plastic mess with flickery RGB lights, and that is absolutely not the Tecware Phantom 87. And has an alloy backplate, double shot PBS keycaps, and the RGB lighting is quite nice. It's not over the top, but it doesn't flicker, which is good. But on top of that, the software for the RGB lighting on this keyboard is really simple too, and I just appreciate that because there's a lot of RGB software out there for other budget mechanical gaming keyboards that's over the top to like compensate for the price, and this is just really simple, and you can just choose from anywhere from like 12 plus effects for the RGB lighting on this keyboard. So it's just simple. Build quality is great. Like, I don't feel like you should have to upgrade from this keyboard for a long time, but it gets better. So this comes in either Otmu Blue, Otmu Brown, or Otmu Reds, but you can do this. You can switch out the mechanical switches in this keyboard for other Otmu switches. You can even go for premium ones. And other than that, I have no complaints with this keyboard other than I really wish it was wireless. Because then I would honestly replace my current driver with this, because the money and the value would probably be really insane. Now moving on to the headset and mouse combination that I picked out for this gaming setup because it came in a combo off of Amazon for 55 bucks. I have the Corsair HS35 and the Corsair Harpoon Pro RGB. So starting with the headset, the build quality, it's plastic, but at least it's nice plastic. The fit and feel is good. I would say that your cubs are maybe just slightly tight on my head, and I would say I have like a normal sized head. So if you have a bigger head or a big brain head, this might be a little bit tight on you, but other than that, I think this is fine. If anything, these are not, they are not going to slip off your head if you decide to get really intense, I guess, in gaming. And speaking of gaming, the sound profile on the HS35 is definitely geared towards gaming. There is a lot of clarity whenever you are playing any game. You can definitely pick out where sounds are coming from in this headset. And on top of that, the bass, kind of like others in this segment, is a bit artificially boosted just to immerse you more into your gaming experience while you're in any sort of like FPS or MOBA game. The bass is amped up just to get you amped up. So with that being said, if you're going to be listening to real music, so not modern day pop, rap, crappy EDM, or I don't know, robot language stuff, this is not a music listening headset. The sound profile is definitely geared towards an esports gaming experience, not for everyday listening. So if that is a deal breaker for you, I would move on from this headset. I would definitely spend a little bit more on a higher end headset with a better sound profile, like anything from Kingston, from their HyperX setup, or even maybe Corsair with like a higher end Corsair headset. So the bottom line is that this is a great value gaming headset. It's great for gaming if you're okay with the microphone quality, but if you listen to real music while you're working, like on Spotify, nope. Nope. This ain't it, chief. Pass up. Nah, mate. Get a more expensive headset. You'll thank yourself later. Coming back to the mouse, though, this is the Corsair Harpoon Pro RGB. This is a $20 gaming mouse, and don't let that deter you from the performance that this mouse can offer for the money. It has a Pixart PMW3227 sensor. It has a very grippy plastic finish on it, which doesn't feel like a $20 mouse at all. Of course, it has a single RGB light that is compatible with Corsair's IQ system. It can go up to 12,000 DPI, and yet again, 20 bucks. Like I said, I am going to vouch for the build quality on this one. This does not feel like a $20 mouse. Even the scroll wheel doesn't subdue that. But I will kind of point out the mouse switch on here. And this might just come down to personal taste, but I like a firm mouse switch. Whenever I click all the way down to the bottom, I don't want there to be any resistance. I want to have full confidence knowing that I registered my shot or my click in a game before the enemy. And this one, it's a little bit squishy. Now, from what I've read online, people actually like this. So if you're one of those people, so be it. I just want to have confidence in knowing that I got my shot off faster than the other person I was shooting at, because I hate that feeling when you're going for that and then the enemy gets you first and you look at your mouse and you're like, what the heck? I don't want that feeling. I want to know I just couldn't get the shot off in time. That was human error. It wasn't a hardware error, which I don't doubt this would like have any actual errors. It's just the mouse switch is a little too squishy for my taste. Beyond that though, other than it being just a little bit more narrow from my hand than what I'd like, it's a fine $20 mouse. Cable's good, sensor is good, build quality is good. Just the mouse switch is a little squishy for me. May not be a deal breaker for some, but it might be for me. And again, if you only spend an extra 20 to 30 bucks, you can get the Roccat Burst Pro with a really firm mouse switch, or the Razer Viper Mini, which has been acclaimed very heavily by other tech reviewers, or even a wireless variant like the G305 from Logitech, and you can do some mods on it and make that a really solid wireless budget gaming mouse. But again, not a terrible $20 gaming mouse. Which then leads us to the last peripheral in my budget gaming setup, that being the Asus Vice President 229HE 21.5 inch gaming monitor. This is a $110 Again, 21.5 inch monitor that has a 75 Hz refresh rate, 1080p resolution. It's an IPS panel. It supports FreeSync for AMD cards and Adaptive Sync for NVIDIA graphics card. Has a single HDMI 1.4 port, and this monitor was first available on Amazon in September of 2020, so it's quite recent, which is good. However, kind of like with the headset and the mouse, if you spend only about an extra $30 to $50 more, you can get a bigger monitor, which is my only complaint with this Asus monitor. The actual panel itself is not bad, and I would not mind using it as like a secondary monitor. I just want it to be bigger. If this is going to be your first gaming setup, don't settle for a smaller monitor, because you're going to be staring at it every single day. So I would at least get a 24 inch, but just for the sake of the budget of this setup, I'm with the 21.5. Besides that though, I think the monitor itself is quite optimal for the gaming PC we're pairing it up with, because you're getting on average about 60 to 100 frames per second at 1080p on many select games, as seen from my build video where I detailed benchmarks and game settings that I ran those benchmarks at. So that 75 Hz refresh rate is going to be used up most of the way with these integrated graphics, which is good. And besides it being VESA compatible, so if you want to stick it on like the side of your monitor with a custom monitor arm, you can totally do that. And it's an IPS panel, so it's going to have great viewing angles all around if you wanted to, again, use it as a secondary monitor in the future. It's got all that. I just wish it was bigger. I would spend a little more for a bigger monitor. I mean, if you have to go with a $110 monitor, definitely look at this one, but go for 24 inches, come on. Which then leads us to the gaming PC used in this setup, which is my $450 gaming PC I created 2 weekends ago, which has a Ryzen 3200G, B450 motherboard, 8 to 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, a 500 gigabyte SSD, micro ATX case, and a 500 or 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. And you can learn all the information on that PC, including its gaming performance if you want to know how well it runs Valorant, CSGO, Fortnite, Apex Legends, any of that stuff. That build video covers everything. So don't ask questions in the comment section relating to the build, because it's already done for you in that build video. So I would definitely watch that on top of this. But that gaming PC, it's a little bit faster than you think. And again, it doesn't need a dedicated graphics card. You don't have to get one of those. You can use its integrated Vega graphics and get some pretty nice 1080p gaming performance without having to waste a ton of money. Again, on like an RTX whatever or GTX RX whatever. It's a nifty way to build a gaming PC in the year 2021 without having to overspend and give in to scalpers, which is really awesome. So with all that said, that is my gaming setup. My SD card is about to run out of storage, so if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I mean, you're already on it, but I got a Discord, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and an Instagram, all linked in the description below, along with all the other products I used in this video. And with all that said, I want to thank you guys for watching, and this is the Scatterable channel, signing out.